Nick's face.
It was a school shooting joke.
Oh, good. I'm glad that's where you were going. Oh. Just right onto the ground. Face full of dirt. It's fine.
I wasn't ready.
He doesn't give a shit. He starts it when it's time to end something.
No, hold on. Wait for the music.
There you go.
This episode is made possible by our therapy partners, Dirty B and Pickets. From fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, this is Pod Therapy. Real people, real problems, and real therapists. You can submit your questions anonymously at podtherapy.net or email us at podtherapyguys@gmail.com. Broadcasting from Churn, that's Jim. I'm Whitney, and that's Nick. It's time for some Pod Therapy.
Yeah, I'm Nick.
So, we've got Anna in the studio.
Hi, Anna.
We're talking about the biathlon.
Yeah, she is a proud biathlete, and we support you. And I just want you to know that.
Appreciate that.
This is a safe place. As you can tell from the flag.
Jim has already forgotten what the biathlon is.
Yep.
Jim, what sport's it?
But you've done some traveling.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, because
tell me where.
Because you were in Italy when I talked to you.
Yes,
right?
For Mental Fit.
Yes.
Ooh,
Yeah, this is how I got good at biathlon.
Yeah, I'm sure
Tangent.
Nick teaching you through Zoom made you really fucking good.
Wow.
On Zoom session.
Yes,
Wow.
yeah.
Thank you. It's bullshit, but I'll take it.
Cannot ski or fire a gun, but I'm sure he's the cause.
It's the mobility.
When you're taking the gold, I hope that you thank him and God. In that order.
So, but give us this update. Obviously, you're injured now.
Yes.
But you were on Team USA.
Last 2 winters, yeah.
Wow.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so, what's the game plan moving forward? Are you gonna? I mean, with this injury, you're gonna work through this and
long
get back in
recovery
it.
Still.
Yeah, I
lots to
have a little bit
recover.
of a ways to go. So I broke my knee and my ankle in a couple places playing soccer a few weeks ago.
Was it indoor?
No, it was outdoor actually, but it was on turf. Which is kind of like my fun sport, like guilty pleasure. So I felt really kind of not good after injuring myself in that.
How did the team feel? The coaches, were they a little?
Yeah, I think my coach was disappointed for me. Just like felt bad sympathy. But I think she's gonna help me work through it, and
Awesome.
it'll be all right. It'll be a little tough probably to try to qualify this winter, at least for the first trimester of the international racing. But hopefully by like December, I'll be feeling better again.
And you were right. You said in the Patreon, the U.S. has never won a medal in the biathlon.
I know it has to
Yeah,
come.
it's the only Winter Olympic medal that the U.S. hasn't won one in.
Yeah.
That's the only one.
According to my 3-second Google search, yes.
Oh
Wow.
my God! I've never cared more about a team than I do.
The only
right now.
Winter Olympic event in which the
That's
U.S.
my
has never
people
medaled.
now. I want them to win this.
It is one of the
do it.
most fun sports to watch in the Winter Olympics.
This is the team we
It
should
actually
adopt.
is.
It's
Yeah.
a lot of fun to watch the biathlon.
That's what the team needs is a little push from Pod
They
Therapy.
need the Pod Therapy bump. I think we send them guns.
The official therapy podcast of the U.S. biathlon team.
We should send them Pod Therapy logos as targets.
Oh, they're redoing the logo right now.
Oh,
We got our shot.
all right. Okay, I'm back
Such
in.
a great idea. That's what they need. They need a D grade podcast to adopt them to victory.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you sponsor the team? Can you do that?
Oh yeah, we have sponsors.
people
You can
will accept
go
money.
on the headbands and all that.
Okay.
Oh my
I like
God.
this.
One could we do it?
Yeah.
No.
We don't know yet.
Well,
we haven't
hold on, we
asked.
don't know their numbers.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay,
if we
we
just
just-
send them shit, they might just wear it.
We just finished paying off the IRS.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, never mind. That's true.
We're halfway to the next time we have to
You
pay.
really got to save up for the next one.
I've already started saving. I've got a little IRS pot set aside for
Yeah.
when we do this
And
again.
for all of you that are thinking, wow, they make so much money that they have to pay a hefty tax. No.
No.
They're fines. We're
They're
not
fines.
good at things like filing. So turns out the government does not have a sense of humor about that shit.
Dang
And
it.
yeah.
Apparently, they're not listeners.
Yeah. Not all the cool ones, anyway. Well, Anna, welcome. Thank you for your support
so
throughout the years and
cool.
for listening to us. We're glad that you're here, even though it took chaos and disorder to bring you to fabulous Las Vegas. How long are you in town for?
About a week.
Okay, great.
Oh wow. Okay.
So just doing the family thing, or have you've been to Vegas? 'Cause,
Oh, yeah, many times, yeah.
Family's here.
My dad
Do
grew up
you
here.
have like a thing you've got to do that's like your tourist thing?
Usually go to the Bellagio.
Okay.
All right.
Hang out there. Like to go to like a Cirque show usually.
Okay.
Yeah, my sister actually went and saw Absinthe a couple months ago.
All right.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, she enjoyed it.
Of course. It is a good time. That's awesome. Yeah, the Bellagio, I think, is underrated.
So
People don't talk
classic.
enough about the Bellagio.
Every time I walk by that bar, I think
Oh, us? Yeah.
Oh, no, what does this look?
that's where we got fired.
That's where we met.
Yeah.
I
Picked
was like,
me up at a bar.
No.
You know.
I saw the
Yeah.
gazing
Yeah,
eyes.
he saw me falling off a stool and was like, all right, I'm just going to make a move. And here we are.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
7 years strong.
Yeah. Fun talk.
Yep. Oh, last random announcement before we get to questions. I owe Jacob a special thank you.
Yeah.
Jacob
I mean, it checks out.
is responsible for my 18th anniversary gift to my wife. I hunted down the fucking textbook that Jacob suggested I do.
Okay, this is going a different
We should.
direction.
We actually have
my
to start by
God.
re-reminding Jacob.
Yeah, what the
any
fuck
of
you
this.
talking
about?
It's a mold of Jacob's penis. That was the entire bit.
Checks out.
Yeah, so I had long ago told the story about how I got my first date with my wife because she was taking a class at the university that I already taken, and she needed the book. And so she had asked around the friend group, does anybody have this book? And I was like, I do. I'll give it to you if you take me to coffee. And she was like, all right. And so now we're married for 18 years. And I told that story a long time ago, and Jacob was like, hey, man, the obvious move at some point for an anniversary gift is find that fucking book. And I was like, oh my God, I wonder if I could. It took me months. I had to like go to the registrar, to the school library, to the music department. I shook every possible tree. I finally got this thing. And then it's really hard to find that version because it's 20 years old. Just figuring out what book it was impossible. I finally figured out. Then I hunt down the internet, find
Lucky
a
Laura
copy
had gotten
of it.
hold of it already.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Then I decided, okay, I got the
burning
book.
joke.
There it is.
It took me a second.
Yeah. Yeah. I get a hold of the book and I did like a little presentation case, like, made it pretty to hang up and stuff. Then I thought, oh shit, I wonder if the author's still alive. He is.
Okay.
I got a hold of him. And I was
you
like, hey man, your book like changed my life like in this other way.
Not
Like,
in the way that
not
you
the way you
expect.
wrote it for, but it was useful. And I was like, would you be like able to write something in it for me? And he was like, yeah, man, absolutely. So after
I bet he doesn't get hit up for
he loved it.
The personalized autograph.
Yeah,
very
I'll
often.
just put my standard message in there.
yeah, anniversary, no problem, man. No, but super
Hope you
sweet
enjoy
guy.
physical science.
So super sweet guy, and he wrote a little inscription and everything, and we just celebrated. So it was really cool. So
nice.
Jacob,
So
thank you for the idea.
So you gave it to her.
I did, yeah. So
Yeah,
we
what
just
was the
celebrated the
reaction?
18th anniversary yesterday.
Did I get credit with your wife?
I did.
for
Yeah,
suggesting
she
it?
knew because I stupidly, the day that you had said it, I had come home that day and said, "Ha, Jacob thought that'd be a cool idea," and she was like, "God, that would be a cool idea."
Yeah, what the fuck?
I just,
You were an idiot.
God,
I know.
it was like,
yeah,
well, something had to not work.
yeah.
Right? I mean, it was just too
You had to
good.
fuck it up
But
somehow.
it was like a long time ago. It was probably like a year ago that
Women
Jacob
remember.
said that. And
We remember everything.
It was a long time ago. So luckily it was not top of mind.
So, okay, so
Wouldn't you, Whitney? If Peter came up to you and was like, somebody told me the greatest idea to get for you for a gift. Isn't that funny?
I'd be like, wow, it would have been.
That
It would have been great.
idea. I sure would have been surprised if you had done
That
that.
would have been incredible.
Anyway, it looks
so I
lovely.
imagine the look on her face when she opened it was like, oh, yeah, this is that thing.
I remember that
This is
Jacob
thing
said
that
to do this,
yeah.
right?
The surprise was Jacob's penis. The
Yeah,
mold.
that's right. Well, the mold of Jacob's
Yeah,
penis was
yeah.
appreciated. She put it next to her other mold of
Yeah.
Jacob's penis.
Oh, okay.
Do you want me to also do an inscription in the book?
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, just an imprint. It would be lovely.
My mushroom stamp of approval.
There it is.
Oh, it's getting real.
And if you're thinking, wow, this show has really hit the ground. Nope. Go back into
Listen to the
Patreon. Yeah, no, this is the high road.
And I didn't do it.
Way up
What,
there.
me?
Yeah, no, it's the person you don't think it is. It's that one. Patreon.com/therapy. Tune in for all the fun. Well, welcome, Anna. We're excited to have you. Feel free to chime in whenever you damn well please. You know how the show
Yes.
works. There's no
Thank you.
order. We've got our great questions today. First one is an interesting one. I don't know that we've had its like. When to worry about auditory hallucinations. Hi, guys. My question is, how many times / how often do I need to hear voices to actually worry about it? Backstory. A couple months ago, I'm a mid-30s female, was extremely stressed out at work. While at home one night, I laid down with my head on my pillow and heard a very distinct voice.
Even when he slowed down to try to get it right.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
No, I just... Fuck you. That's where we need to go with that. It's pillow. There's nothing wrong with how I'm saying it. It's fine. You're insulting...
Say the word P-I-L-L.
No, I won't play your
Say the word
goddamn
P-I-L-L.
games. Pill.
And say the word O-W.
That don't work all the time in English,
Say the
man.
word O-W.
Like,
Say the word O-W.
Ow.
ow?
Oh.
Pillow. Pillow. No, you know what? Let's do yours. That ain't O-W. O-W's
Oh,
ow.
sorry, O-H.
Okay, but that ain't how it's spelled. So your
Agreed.
stupid rules are
Agreed.
failing.
No. I said the wrong thing. Say O-H.
Oh,
Say P-I-L-L.
pill.
Put them together.
Pill. Oh.
Good.
Pill. Oh.
He's like
That's
the
fine.
AI
Let's do
version
it
of
like
Jen.
that.
Oh, oh.
Let's do it like that. I laid down with my head on my pillow and heard a very distinct voice whisper in my ear, "I'm going to kill you." I knew immediately that it was a hallucination because the cats were in a different room. Good point. Well, solid
Different
logic.
You clearly weren't that afraid of the pillow.
I'm sorry, what was that, Fluffy? So I wasn't scared of the voice, but I was scared of the implications. Do I just attribute this? You know what?
This
Ryder,
writer
fuck
is
you.
awesome.
I'm starting to pick up on something. I'm
this.
starting to ask some fucking questions here.
Dang it, they didn't sign.
Do I just attribute this to the stress and lack of sleep, or should I seek out medical advice? It hasn't recurred. Potential relevant family history. I have a sibling who sometimes hears voices, and the voices went away when they were prescribed an atypical antipsychotic, quetiapine in this case, off-label for insomnia. No diagnosis of schizophrenia or a related disorder to my knowledge. No mentions of hearing any voices in any of our family memoirs either. Thank you, Anonymous.
Why didn't you
God
sign
damn
this?
it.
Oh, anonymous.
Wow, I thought that was a weird thing to say at the end. I thought, like, wow, your family has memoirs?
Not all heroes wear capes.
Jesus. Wow, Ryder.
great.
I fucking walked into all these.
That's
Yeah.
you are my hero, Ryder.
Wow.
Whatever voices
slow
you're
clap.
hearing, they're doing fine.
Dude, I didn't even
Jacob's
catch
like, it's
any
mine.
of that.
Everything about you is just winning.
Wow. I honestly, at the end, was like, that's so cool that their family has memoirs. Like, that's...
Hey, good job.
Not all
did
of them
it.
have
Good job.
Am I saying it better now?
Memoirs,
You did that
yeah.
one.
That time, yeah.
I got
The
that
first
one.
time
You can't
was
overthink
awful.
it.
I'm good at talking. There's one thing I'm known for. It's the talking.
Ooh, auditory hallucination.
Yeah, mild, sporadic. And I've been more worried if the writer said that the cat said it. I would be more concerned if it was actually
Yeah.
it was the cat. Then we'd
Yeah.
have problems.
How often? Are they saying this time it wasn't the cat and usually it is the cat?
They just said, "Look, I know it wasn't the cat.
Yeah.
Cats weren't there."
I took it as a joke.
I
took it
know,
as them
I'm
making
just
a joke.
joking.
Yeah.
But so I remember way back when being in grad school, the vibe around auditory hallucinations is that if they
I don't know why
don't,
Wendy is saying
there's
this
a
in such a
vibe.
weird way.
Yeah, it's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
It's definitely a vibe.
Or I don't want to say a rule because it's not a rule, but just how they explain it to us, the professors that I worked with, they would say that if, like anything, if it's not affecting your life in a negative way, and I tell clients this when they come in when I ask this question in our assessment, because that can be kind of an intimidating question to ask. And I imagine that somebody coming to see a therapist for the first time maybe is hesitant to admit to some of those things before,
Sure.
Rapport is built. So I usually say something along the lines like, have you ever had any experience with auditory or visual hallucinations, delusions, things like that? And if I feel like there's hesitation, I will talk about how we're looking at how it's impacting their daily life. So what I will say is, even if someone comes in and is like, yeah, I have, there's just a person right next to me here and they're talking to me all day long. They're like my imaginary friend, but actually I hear them.
Right.
Just like this, a voice outside of your head saying anything.
Right.
My next question is going to be, how does that affect you? And if they're like, oh no, it's great, I love it, I still go to work, I still go to school, I have good family life, I have a partner, whatever else, if that's what they're into. So if it doesn't affect anything else, then I'm like,
No, I'm glad you brought this
Okay.
up because it's been a long time, I think, since we've talked about it. In the first couple of years of the show, a lot of the questions we would get would somehow ask about a diagnosis. And we would constantly have to remind the listeners we're an educational program, we're not providing a second opinion or anything like that. But we would also educate the listeners about the importance of clinically significant amount of distress as one of the criteria for all the diagnoses. It's been a long time since we've been able to say that again, and I'm really glad you brought it up, that even with something like this, we're still looking for a clinically significant amount of distress, which goes to show that just because you're having some kind of experience every once in a while doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, it's a hard open and closed diagnosis.
Yeah, and I think the other thing too is like we get this a lot, or at least I've had this question several times. Like, what's the difference between like an internal dialogue versus an auditory hallucination?
Very common.
Yeah. How do you answer that question? Because like for me, I'm thinking like, well, my go-to answer is like if you're thinking about this or wondering, then it's probably an internal dialogue. Like your internal dialogue, you recognize as being your thoughts.
I would say
you recognize it as it being internal.
I would have guessed that it would be it's fooling your brain into that information is basically coming into your brain in the same manner that information comes in through your ears. But it's kind of tricking your brain. So it's like, oh, that voice came from that area. That's my ear area of my brain. Does that make sense?
Right.
No.
Oh, because it's
So, like, it's all
You're
internal.
hearing the voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like if it feels like you're hearing it, then it would be an auditory hallucination. And if it's just if you're thinking it, then it's not that.
Yes. So it's like it's you recognize it as it being external.
Yeah.
Right. So you can actually hear it. It is an external voice that you're hearing as opposed to being something internal that like you kind of recognize as being your thoughts, even though they may be intrusive or you may feel like you don't have control over them. You do still experience them as being internal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, did you guys ever, when you were in school, ever have to do like the simulation?
Oh my gosh. I never had to do that, but I've watched videos of people doing that where it's like someone's just talking over your shoulder quietly while you're like, say you and I are talking and Anna's over here just quietly on my right hand shoulder, like saying whatever she wants to talk about biathlons.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we actually did
shut up about them.
No.
We did it differently. We actually had a headset.
Oh,
that we would listen
like
to.
an AirPod, but not because
Yeah.
it was too long ago.
Yeah. Let's settle down. It wasn't that long ago. All right. But yes, I believe it was a Walkman. Yeah.
It was Beats by Dre.
It was a vinyl.
I had a record player that I would just carry around with me. No, but we actually had to like put in headphones and then
wow.
like we had an assignment where we had to listen to this.
Oh my gosh.
And it was a simulation of like auditory hallucinations that someone with a schizophrenic diagnosis would experience. And we had to walk through the union and there are certain things we had to do. Like we had to ask somebody for directions.
Oh my gosh.
Someplace. We
Wow.
had to, like there's a few different tasks that we had to accomplish.
That's cool.
It was tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really hard to walk around and like have a conversation with somebody because like there were like 4 or 5 voices all occurring at the same time.
Yeah.
And they were, coming from different areas and it just sounded really strange. It was tough.
Or in things that draw your attention, if it like makes a quick noise and you look, you know, like.
Yeah. I mean, and there's some things that like, as much as you try to just like, okay, I want to appear as though I'm just listening to music. You can do that as much as you want, but like at some point there is something like that's just going to startle you and you're just going to be like, well,
yeah.
Or just like, shut up. Oh, shit. No one's talking to me. Yeah.
That's
just,
cool.
Yeah.
So you went through that and did that through your, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
we did that in
Did you
my
have to like
undergrad.
report on it or what was the?
Yeah, so this was actually it wasn't for a class. It was at it was kind of like a conference type thing that we were at as students.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
So, yeah, it was just a one-day experience.
So to this question of like, how often would you be experiencing something before you start to get to a diagnosis? I like what you said, Whitney, of just making sure that there's always that clarity that symptoms of anything in mental health or any kind of abnormality don't always lead to a diagnosis. Like there's always a spectrum for everything. Being anxious is a common thing. It's not a diagnosable thing, but anxiety to the point of clinically significant amount of distress now becomes that. And so we have all these extra criteria. So when it comes to just having heard something, one thing I think that is important to talk about, and I was just looking up statistics, I remember it was actually bigger than you think. 5 to 28% of Americans have experienced an auditory hallucination at some point. And like you
That
hear
is
that
high.
you go, well, that's obviously nowhere. We're not talking about almost 30% of the nation having schizophrenia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So it is one of the most common, I guess you might call it like atypical mental health symptoms that can be experienced.
This happens to me like once a month.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm always in bed, like very specific circumstances.
Yes.
And it feels more like a waking dream than what I would think of as a true hallucination.
I want to zoom in
And
on
it's
that.
like
That's a good
I'm in
point.
bed, and the writer
Yes.
said that they're in bed when this happened. But like if I'm in bed and I am just wiped out, like if
Yes.
I've gone a couple of days without sleeping type
Yes.
thing, and then this will almost always happen to me in those types of scenarios.
I have had the same experience.
Yeah.
Is it just
where
like
I've
a
heard
sound
voice.
or it's
no,
a voice?
it's usually voices.
Okay.
It's usually one or more voices.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
And
So-
I had the
sometimes like
exact same
full on
thing.
conversations.
In full
Really?
exhaustion. I've been in that same state, laying in bed, completely exhausted, and clearly heard a voice.
Yeah, and there are other
talking to me.
times like I will be sitting there or lying in bed, and I'll hear it, and it will scare the shit. Like
Yes.
it will
Well,
startle
yeah, that's
me.
all I'm
Yes.
thinking.
Yeah,
That would
and like I
scare
will,
the shit
will
out of
like
me.
Yes.
jump up or jump out of bed. Not all the time, but every now and then it'll really surprise me.
Why that's important is because that 30% or up to like on the high end 20% of people, which I've realized 5 to 28 is a very big range, but
Yeah.
these are difficult statistics to also get at
Yeah.
because there's a lot of stigma associated with it.
Yeah.
Like even when we're talking to a patient, they're here for our help. We still have to walk on eggshells to talk about this kind
Yeah.
of stuff. But this form that Jacob and I have experienced, and probably the writer as well, is a very common form that's called, I believe it's audio hypnagogic hallucinations,
Okay.
which have to do with sleep. So that transition cycle from like that conscious brain into that unconscious brain, this is the most common situation in which somebody would hear an audio
Yeah,
hallucination.
like I talked to my doctor about it years ago, and that's what they said. They were like, basically, you're dreaming and you're not asleep yet.
That's it. Yeah, that's essentially it.
Yeah.
Which I mean, really, I appreciate that it can be startling. I appreciate hallucinations of any kind can make people scared. But I mean, really appreciating the power of your brain to create fiction, and like what dream states are, and the way it replays memories, and the way you hear tone and voice, and all these things.
Yeah.
Like it has it all ready to go, and it can just fictionally create that at any time.
Yeah.
And that's essentially what this is.
Should the writer be worried about what the voice is saying?
Obviously,
I'm
that's
going
pretty
to kill you.
uncomfortable. Yeah, that's pretty uncomfortable.
I mean, the cat's not in the room.
Yeah. As long as the cat doesn't start like
As long as it's
practicing
not the
karate
cat.
in the garage.
Well, and what else would you expect from a cat?
I mean, the
of
cat.
course
you
that's
already
what
knew
they
the
would
cat
say.
was going to try to kill
If
you.
the cat can talk, that's what the cat said. Yeah, no. If you've got fucking Doolittle powers,
We all
you
know
heard that
full
cat
well
accurately.
That like the difference between a house cat and a tiger is just the size.
Yeah, that's
it's
it.
not the attitude.
no.
It's not the desire to murder
No.
things.
Yeah.
It's just the ability to do the murdering.
That's it. That's all it is. They're all fucking
yeah.
monsters.
Cats
Yeah.
and birds.
Yeah.
Like if birds were just if like a pigeon was 50 pounds.
Yeah.
Then human
They're
beings would
clawing
be
your
extinct.
eyes out. They're taking your fucking
Yeah,
shit.
we'd just all be dead.
Yeah, that's 100% true. Yeah, I mean the nature of the what the voice said, it's difficult because again, distress matters a great deal, but also situation and like where this voice is imposing. And again, if you're experiencing what are probably auditory hypnagogic hallucinations, that's extremely common and in theory benign.
Well, and so that's kind of what I was thinking too. Like, if that's the situation, it's no different really than like having a dream of being chased,
Right.
Or it's just your anxiety kind of manifesting itself into a dream state, which is different than like having schizophrenia and hearing voices like this, because those voices are always negative.
Right.
Right. No one ever, I don't think ever been a case of somebody who has schizophrenia and their voices are just like,
Yeah.
you're rocking it today. Good
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
Go
I
big.
believe in you. It's just
I believe in
Richard
you.
Simmons
Yeah, I mean,
the whole
Oh,
time. You're doing it,
R.I.P.
girl.
again.
Too soon. Too
Just keep
soon.
fucking going.
I
Too
know.
soon. That was not appropriate.
Oh, sorry.
But
You're
no,
right.
I think I think the the negativity, like that's the worst part, I think, of like
Yeah.
hearing those voices. Like when we did that simulation, it wasn't just that there were 5 different voices going on.
Right.
It was all really tough. Like it
Yeah.
was like saying some very hurtful things.
Yeah. It's almost always distressing.
I'm all right though. I'm
yeah.
good.
Aw,
Good.
how
I'm
much
trying.
therapy?
Very good at golf.
Not very good.
Caitlin Clark is mediocre at best.
No, I vetoed that. We're done with that.
That was his line.
That's it.
Put the school shooting jokes on the fucking table. Don't you touch Caitlin. Oh my God. Yeah. So
We
the
all
good
have our
news-
limits.
Do you want me to make fun of Caitlin Clark or Laura?
Oh yeah.
Those
You
are the
can
options.
Defend one.
Can I get back to you?
You can.
Okay.
No, that's good. I'm glad you're taking your time.
Yeah, think about it.
It's a big
I don't
commitment.
want to rush this.
No,
I get it.
There's no reason to take, just take your time. So the good news writer, again, we do not diagnose on the show. We do not undiagnose on the show. We always refer you back to your own treatment team. And if this is something that, is recurring and happening in your life and you'd like to examine it more, you can. I've read in some places that if you are having this, you might want to go get whatever it's called, like an EEG, the anterior encephalogram or whatever. It's basically a neural hearing test. So you'd go to an audiologist for it.
Right.
Because
okay.
sometimes if you're developing hearing loss, you can actually get
okay.
hypnagogic hallucinations as well.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. So sometimes that can be worth doing, but I mean, I do want to normalize it. And like hearing voices isn't just reserved for people with psychotic features or schizophrenia. There's support groups out there. Like I remember at NAMI, there was a group it was just called Hearing Voices, to just make sure everybody got it. Like this is what it's for. But obviously a very wide spectrum of what that is. And there were a lot of first timers that would come wandering in and say, look, I'm not whatever the movie depiction is of the bad guy holding a knife, which again is thanks
Right.
Hollywood.
That's,
fuck you.
Yeah.
But they're really scared to talk about it and get help because it's in that range of shit that people like everybody could talk about anxiety. Oh, it's kind of charming. You're scared. Okay, whatever. Depression. Everybody's like, oh boy, I get it. And even some of these other things that we've all normalized by talking about mental health, this is still in that category. That's like the black box of shit we don't talk about.
Yeah. I think mostly because of Hollywood.
Fucking
and
Hollywood.
It's like,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah. The bad guy in the movie killing everybody doesn't have a fucking eating disorder. It's going to be this shit. So it's sad. But Ryder, I'm glad for questions like this. A, because I think we can normalize the experience. B, we can add a few extra layers of understanding. C, it gets us a chance to talk about how diagnostics work. And D, I'm really glad because there's a lot of folks that have had some. I mean, there's 5 people in this room and 2 of us were like, yep, I've experienced hearing voices, that we're normalizing that. So I'm really glad that that's something we can talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, if you're hearing voices, always make sure you're not on meth. That could
That's
easily
step 1.
be part of it. Yeah.
Or that you don't have earbuds in.
Step 2.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. You want to rule out the obvious ones.
Yeah.
Get those off the table first. Thank you for the question, Ryder. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're talking about distant father passing away. You're listening to Pod Therapy.
Today's episode is brought to you by Jake Schneider, Judy Schneider, Leanne Kassab, Carolyn Albert, Sammy Scoop, Sarah Smith, Mike Helm, Darren Cunningham, Matt and Lisa Tangeman, and Mrs. Hot Dog Scoop. If you would like to sponsor the show, become a therapy producer at patreon.com/therapy.
All right, Anna, get your mic ready. You're part of trivia.
right.
Part of the deal here. You can win glory for all the people in Montana.
You can have say on what Whitney votes on in her next
that's
HOA meeting.
the win.
Just DM me.
Gold fucking standard.
I'm so excited.
I know the
Yeah, it's gonna be
corruption.
The corruption.
Corrupt. Oh, I love it.
You understand you have an opportunity to establish that is just your speech pattern.
Yeah.
At the meeting.
If you haven't said anything yet, just lean in on it, and then just keep making references to tailwhists.
What do you mean,
Like
Jacob?
never clarify.
Thank you all so much for allowing me to be at the
Together.
boardroom today.
Today I want to talk about tailwhists. What? Tailwhists.
All right.
All right.
Back to our trivia from Emma. What is the record-breaking amount in millions of dollars for the most expensive horse ever sold?
Oh wow!
Is this a buzz-in thing, or is this a
Price
choice
I
Right.
think
thing?
this is going to have to be a Price is Right.
Oh.
Wow! Alive or dead? I think
Good
that's relevant.
question,
Thank
Jim.
you. Thank you, Jacob. I think it's a very relevant question.
King Tut's mummified horse.
Goddamn right. You're goddamn right. That would be worth a shit ton of money.
That would
You
be,
know?
Jim. You're right, Jim.
Thanks, buddy.
I'm backing you up on this
Are we
one.
doing season 5 start affirming Jim shit
no,
again?
You know what? If the answer is it's a dead horse, I will give you points no matter what number you guess.
Fair.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
For
I
dollar
appreciate
amount.
it. All right, good.
The
You know what?
lazy handy.
And that goes for the rest of trivia.
If any of the items on auction are dead,
Any of the answers
are dead.
are a
thing.
dead
A dead
horse.
horse.
Jim knows how to beat a dead horse.
There's gonna be a
Okay.
glue one, and I'm gonna get that. It's just a layup.
Glue stick.
It's Europe.
All right, we're betting
Okay.
on dead horse here.
In
or
the
any
amount
horse.
of millions, so it's got to be more than 1 million.
All right, I'll start. I'll say 2.3 million.
Okay, I'm gonna go 7.
All right.
Wow,
Closest without going over.
we got 2.3 on the board and 7. 7's way too fucking high.
I was gonna go
I
way
don't-
higher
I
than
don't know.
7.
You think
I was
so?
like, ooh,
All
we're
right,
going
I'm just
low
gonna take
here.
a clean 5. I'll take 5 and
All
get in
right.
the middle of the pack.
I kind of want to go close to Jim because he was so good before at this.
I'm
I
very good
know.
at this.
You can
if
do
it's
5
dead,
million
if it's
one.
alive, no fucking clue.
You can take 5 million one right now.
Oh,
right,
you
I
could
got
just
5-1.
stick me. Damn
There it
it!
is.
Yes.
Not 5.1, 5 million
And
one.
$1.
Yeah. And 1 penny.
I'm going 10 because I just want
Going
to.
for the high ball.
All right.
All right.
Whitney wins
Bitches!
and is nowhere
I was gonna
near.
guess 20 was my original guess.
Oh,
Still? What? Okay, but then you'll guess like 7. I was like, oh, that's what I.
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
Holy shit!
70 to 75 million.
Oh, alive?
Oh, this is
Hold
gonna
on,
be.
hold on.
This is gonna be like
Is it
a
ballistic?
a Shaw or something
That's
like
what
that.
I was already thinking, like an
yeah.
Arabic,
Yeah,
I don't know,
yeah.
like Arabian.
Okay, it just
king.
says the most expensive horse ever sold was a thoroughbred named
Mr. Ed.
Jimmy.
something Pegasus,
Oh, that feels right. Wings? I'd pay
who
for
was
that.
sold for
Wait.
approximately $70 million.
Damn.
Dang.
I didn't want to go over this.
Well, if it's got wings, yeah.
Yeah.
It's got
Dead or alive. Yeah,
How
you
many-
left off the wings thing. That would change my numbers.
If it was an angel.
Fusashi Pegasus.
God
yes.
damn.
Fusachi.
Something like FUSAICHI.
It's like
I think you nailed
Gucci.
it.
Yeah,
The Gucci of horses.
exactly.
How many
Basically.
pounds does an average adult living horse
Thank you.
weigh?
Thank you. Thank you. I'm sure
Average.
that was written in there too.
It was not,
Yeah.
but I decided I'd throw that in there.
Are we still doing the prices right? or we got options?
Yep. No, we got to do
Ooh.
prices right.
Pounds of the average adult horse.
Okay, who went first last time?
I did.
Okay, so you'll go last.
All right.
I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna say, you know what? 1,000 pounds. Let's just get it. 1,000. That's the average.
Okay, Whitney.
Closest without going over.
You gonna stick me again? There we
No, I just like guessing an actual number.
Yeah.
I'm not about strategy.
go. Okay. You're just going for it.
I don't know, 1,200.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got to be.
I want to go 1,800.
Ooh,
1,800.
going on the
Okay.
high side. All right.
Okay.
Where you going, Tangeman?
Okay, you're 1,800. You're at
12.
what? 12.
And I'm at 1. I'm
I'm gonna go
just 1,000.
1,500.
Okay. Middle of the pack.
Ooh.
Everybody's above me. Wow.
Jakob.
I was gonna say like 750.
Yeah.
And you guys
Okay.
are all in the thousands.
Okay,
yeah.
no, because I was thinking that too, but like,
I'm going 1 pound.
Oh,
Okay.
there it is.
I think you're all over.
Just
Okay.
gamesmanship.
I think it's under 1,000.
okay,
I got a pretty tight window. It's 1,000 to 1,200 gets
Yeah.
me wins.
1,000 to 1,200.
Yeah.
Okay, Emma, the answers are not quite.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I guess it's average. Okay, so
It's
the
average,
average horse typically weighs between 900 to 1,200 pounds.
That's me. Come on. That's my win. No way she gets it.
900, 1,200, you're over.
I said 1,000.
900.
I got the majority of that average.
Ooh,
did say
Jacob's
it's
going for
900.
him.
No, you gotta have it.
You know what, Nick?
No.
I
I'm
trust
blaming
you.
him on this.
No.
Oh, wait, but then Jacob wins.
I'm
That's
blaming
why
him
he's
on
trying to
Oh,
do
this.
that.
'cause he
if
wants
you
his
average
under.
out 900,
Yeah, he
900,
wants his-
1,200,
No,
then
because
Jim gets
saying
it.
a range isn't an average. An average is a number.
So then you take
The
issue
average
with
of the range.
Oh, average
No.
the range.
Average the range.
Yeah.
That's not
Who
the
can
average.
math it?
No one can do that.
Anna, do you do math?
900 to 1,200?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's like
impossible.
That's
impossible
ridiculous.
number.
No, it's like 1050 or something.
I'll take it. I accept.
But no, that's not the average.
You know what? You just sound
Well,
like a
I
sore
don't know.
loser, buddy.
I don't know.
I think it's 1
No,
point
I'm
for
blaming
Jim.
you- I'm blaming you
2
on
if the
this.
horse is dead.
The dead horse.
Yeah, let's assume the horse is also dead.
Hold on.
Because technically
right,
a dead
Jim
horse
and I-
weighs the same as the living horse. I feel I'm giving another point on this one.
Jim and I were in the range though, so
No, don't Jim and I. Don't
Yeah.
fucking coattail me.
Yeah.
You're on the
1200.
goddamn edge. You're
1200.
outside the door.
No, I was in the range.
I
No, he's
I
in
got
the
you
range.
this win, by the
Don't
way. Remember
fucking
that.
try to walk into the club,
Who
okay?
said
I will
average the
I will-
range?
here,
Me.
Hold on. I'll give each of you a third of a point,
Wow.
and then I'm
I'm
going to give
still winning.
myself
Splitting the
1
baby.
point for being a good sport.
Splitting the horse on this. All right.
What about Anna?
Wow.
Anna's
Anna
fine.
gets nothing.
She's fine.
Way out of the range. She picked the fattest horse in existence.
Extra muscly.
Picked a fucking
Been to
cow.
the mental fit.
That's right. All right. Well, I'm going to save some of the rest of these.
Are we skipping? All right,
Yep,
to
let's
the
go
next
on.
question. Here we go. Distant father passed away. My father just got diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. He's on his way to dying. This has been hard. This has been hard news to process. My father and I aren't estranged from each other, but we also don't talk. I'll see him at family Christmas, and we'll send happy birthday texts to each other, but that is about it. It took a long time, but I thought I've accepted that this will be the extent of our relationship that I'd get from him. He's very closed off as a person. He doesn't try for conversation with me, and talking to him is very nerve-wracking to me because he has a short temper and will snap if I say the wrong thing. So I feel like my brain kind of just freezes up around him, and I can't think of things to say. It's very dull when we talk. I'm 24 years old and completely no contact with my mother. I keep getting overwhelmed with the thought how I'll have no parent left soon, even though it's kind of like that now because I barely even have a relationship with the parent I talk to and have known I can't rely on him for normal things people need their parents for, or even any emotional support. And then I tell myself it's wrong for me to even be this sad because of how we are with each other. I lost my stepmom and aunt both to cancer as well, so I'm thinking mainly the emotions I'm feeling are due to what's happened in the past. I'm constantly wondering if this would be easier or harder for me if we did have a typical father-daughter relationship. And how is it that I am feeling like I'm losing someone who's a big part of my heart even though we barely know each other? And how do I quit feeling sorry for myself? This has to be hard news to him, obviously. I don't have ill feelings against my dad, so I want to be there for him, but I have no clue how. Should I be pushy, or should I just let him know that I'm here for him? Sorry, it's so many questions. Any advice would be great. Thanks, Anonymous. Couple layers of questions on this. I think I'm hearing questions on advice for how to be helpful to a person going through this and whether or not to kind of impose in a sense, like advance in the relationship or give them space, but then also kind of exploring this reality of feeling this way about a distant relationship in a really sad circumstance and a really tragic one.
Well, it sounds like it's coming from kind of a similar place as that question last week.
Yeah,
a little bit,
yeah.
not exactly, but where the writer here might be worried about like regrets, or, you know, if I don't say something, what does that mean? If I do say something, does it even matter? Because my dad will just snap at me, or
Right.
I can't even get out what I want to say, is what I'm hearing the writer say as well, that if they try and share their feelings or thoughts about something, the dad kind of reacts. And so that's like a tough balancing act there. But there's a lot of grief in there too, with the stepmom and the aunt passing. And I think it's really insightful that they're pointing that out as well, because it almost sounds like these waves of grief have been happening. And now it's like, this is my last parent. I'm saying in quotes, my last parent. And I don't even have a great relationship with them, but how will I feel once they pass?
Right.
And that's a tough spot to be in.
That is really hard.
That's a scary thought anyway,
Yeah.
just in general.
And at 24, like how young to be experiencing that feling?
Well,
I
I
feel
mean,
like.
I'm, you know,
Slightly older than 20.
all in our 30s, right?
Yeah.
but like I and my parents are still alive, but I still have that thought of, and it always reminds me of Stop This Train, the song by John Mayer. And there's a line in there. He was talking about like getting older and just what that's like. And there's this line in there that he says he's one generation's length away from finding life out on my own. And just kind of that heavy thought of like for me, my parents have always been the safety net.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
they're
like,
the oldest generation,
so
or
it's
whatever.
Like, yeah. So it's like, okay, well, I mean, I'm a grown adult, but like worst case scenario.
Yeah, you always go back
I've always
to
got
that.
them.
Yeah.
You know, but so there is that thought of like, oh shit, like that's not going to be around forever.
Yeah.
And it's a short amount of time and then that is gone. And then now there's no safety net.
Right.
But like, how often do you think about that? Almost, I mean, for me, almost never. I take
Yeah.
that for granted 100%. It's like, I don't,
Yeah, your mom said that.
she did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know why
I don't even call her.
You don't call her.
Yeah.
I hate y'all so much. I did want to say super fast, whenever I have clients that come in and they have a hard time expressing their feelings or thoughts to, usually it is a parent, a strong parent there. I usually go to, and I've said this before in here, try letter writing of some form, because it's a way to feel like you got everything you want to say out. You had time to think about what you wanted to say. And I just really suggest, if you go that route, do not have expectations of a response, an emotional reaction. Like, it's got to be kind of no strings attached. And this is for me, not wholly for the other person.
Right.
And I know the writer addresses that too. Like, do I push talking to my dad because they're going through something and I'm not there for them, or is it just about me? But I'm all about my clients. So it's all about you.
It's all about you. I like your point though about like that whole extra generation, right? Like that elder generation passing away, my aunt, and now, you know, my father. And there is, I think, just that part of it, just grieving the absence of that entire class of people in your brain at such a young age. And that sadness. I mean, and Ryder, I guess I'm just sad for you. I mean, at 24 years old, you've had to cut off your mother. You have a very strained relationship with your father. You've already gone through a lot of mortality in your family tree. And to even have to face this at 24 years old and try to think to yourself, what am I meant to do with this? I mean, like, if you're in your, I don't know, mid to late 50s, like, you know, Vice President Harris, Nick, you know, those folks, they're equipped to say goodbye in some ways because they have all these decades that they've had with their family, you know, and it's like, okay, this is terrible, but I know who you are. I know who I am. You got me through certain periods of my life. Whereas in this case, you're 24 in the sense of like, wow, we could have still had a whole different version of our relationship as adults. Maybe we would have hit our stride when I was in my 30s. You know, I don't know. And I think there's a lost opportunity to this. What do we think about when somebody is going through a terminal illness like this and that feeling of, I don't want to keep you at arm's length because I don't want to not be available to you, but also I don't know if I'm supposed to like suddenly change the rules of our relationship but then maybe I should because this is absolutely an existential situation you're facing and I am your child, and maybe I should kind of kick the door open emotionally here and say, listen, you know, I love you. I am not going to keep that a secret. I care for you and I want to be around you. And even if you just sit here in silence, we're going to do that because I want to make sure that you get from me what you need. Like, what do you guys think about this whole, how do you respectfully approach somebody going through this?
Well, I think you're kind of balancing needs on two fronts. You're balancing your needs. And you're also kind of balancing their needs.
Yeah.
What do they need in this situation? What do you need? And hopefully those two can be congruent, but sometimes maybe they're not.
Congruent?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an Australian term.
Kangarooant?
Congruent. Thank you, Whitney.
You're welcome. No, I did.
You don't want to lack kangarooancy.
No,
Not at all.
I did go there when I was listening to you read through that, Jim. A tiny part of me was like, yeah, just bust in that door and say, hey,
Yeah. I'm
you
here
know,
now.
this is what I want. And, you know, this is how it's going to go. I'm going to tell you what I think or whatnot. Tell me how often you see, I don't know how old this this dad is here. But I have heard multiple stories from people who will have typically their dad almost even not tell them when they have a terminal illness.
Yeah.
Someone told me this just recently. They just didn't tell their family because they didn't want to go through treatment. And so they knew their family would convince them to go through treatment. And then it was just like, okay, well, I'm going to pass in a couple weeks or a month or whatever.
That happened in our family.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Enough times go back, I think I talk about it. But my mother's father had terminal lung cancer and didn't tell any of us, didn't tell his children.
Is he like a strong silent type?
Yeah,
or?
very strong
Okay.
silent farmer, and he had been for years going to the oncologist and getting reports and doing the next thing he was told to do. But it got to the place where it couldn't be treated, and nobody even knew that he had lung cancer, because he kept it to himself. He didn't want any of his conversations and Christmases and, any of the moments
everything.
to be around them. Yeah, he didn't want that to be like, now we're worried about this.
Right.
And, how is he and what's going on? And I think his logic was, you're going to mourn either way. So I'm going to contain that and make it all at once and not make you have to do it leading into it. But he ended up taking his life. So, that was obviously extra shocking. And that was a whole nother reality. And so that was difficult.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, a lot of people keep stuff like this a secret, and it's one of those things where you think, "Oh, that's selfish. You shouldn't do that." And it's like, but then I've had a long time to think about his choice, and I look at it and go, man, that was his choice. Like,
There's an argument on both sides.
there's an argument.
That's the
that
balance again.
It's his freedom.
Yeah.
It's
Like
not
Nick
my
was saying.
place. Euthanasia is a very big ethical conversation. So,
One other thing that I wanted to point out, you writer say, and how do I quit feeling sorry for myself? So I did want to point that out because I think a lot of people get into that kind of mindset where it's like, oh, poor me, I'm feeling sorry for myself. How do I stop doing this? And there's like a difference between feeling sorry for yourself and having empathy for yourself being in a difficult situation.
yeah.
So cut yourself a little slack there, because I think it's perfectly natural, and I don't think it's anything that you need to like do differently if you recognize that this is a shitty situation and you kind of feel bad about being in that situation. I think
Yeah.
that's perfectly normal.
Yeah, no, great point. This is a shitty situation. You're allowed to mourn. You're allowed to feel bad for yourself on a lot of levels. You're allowed to say, I'm disappointed that my father and I never became besties. I'm mourning the future that we're not going to have. I'm sad that somebody I care for is suffering and that there is a loneliness. I'm sad for a lot of things. I'm sad that that's the only relative I feel like I still have, like in that parent class tier. It's okay. I think it's okay to be sad in this situation. And, my only advice on this would just be, look, leave nothing on the field. I kind of want, or leave it all on the field. Like, get out there.
Well, which is it?
It's definitely the latter one. Yeah, you want to leave it all on the field.
Leave no
nothing
man behind.
There it is. Leave no man behind. Yeah.
Leave no man behind on the field, but
Yeah,
leave
yeah,
everything
yeah.
on the field.
Exactly.
yeah.
Except
Beside
for
the
the
man.
man.
Don't leave the men.
Don't leave the men.
Now
Leave
you-
everything
now
else.
you got it.
Never leave
Don't
a man
leave
behind.
the man's behind on
Yeah.
the field.
Yeah, exactly.
Which field?
Jacob's always got to get the
Don't,
behinds
don't
involved.
cut off the behind and
Yeah.
leave it on the field.
Yeah, the field of dreams.
Don't leave.
Yeah. If you build it, they will come.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Proud of you on that one, Jacob.
Yeah.
It's the notes he doesn't play.
I looked,
It's
and
jazz.
there was nothing.
It's
else.
jazz. What he does is art, okay? He doesn't just give you credence.
Can't be
what you want.
predictable.
Yeah, that's right.
Field of Dreams is a very popular movie overseas, especially with young people, especially
Yes.
with the euthanasia. Yeah.
There it is. It's full circled it.
Yeah.
Way to come back. He always finds the better one.
But
He's been sitting on that
Anyway,
one.
Ryder,
On
I
his
wouldn't want
behind.
you to hold back. I would want you to.
They're
at
mostly
some
boys
point-
because of the two-child policy in China.
There it is. There it is. I knew we were going to get to that. I knew somehow he was going to come back. Anyway, Ryder, I think you should tell your father how you feel. I hope that you I like your idea, Whitney, of changing the medium, maybe writing a letter that says,
Yeah.
hey, I love you. And their eyes have to read that, right? And
Yeah.
well, I mean, even if he doesn't read it.
Yeah.
Like,
Right,
there's a
yeah.
therapeutic aspect to just
absolutely.
writing it and then
Yeah.
feeling like, you've kind of done your part.
Yeah,
there.
if there's no reach back, like you've done what you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can always put the options in the letter to say something like, on one hand, Dad, I really want to be around you during this time, and I want to support you, and I want you to feel that I am near you and I'm with you and I love you. On the other hand, I also don't want to annoy you or crowd you, and I want to show respect. This letter is me letting you know that that's on the table. Let me know what you'd like.
I mean, I was thinking about it while you guys were talking about it, and the kind of balance that I was thinking of. You guys were all talking about balance, and a different way that I was kind of thinking of it is it's the balance of your needs versus the balance of your dad's needs. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you need to be as whole as you can be when he passes away.
Good point.
Because after that, you're done. So, like, if you feel like you might need to reach out or whatever, I would say do it.
Yeah.
Because it might turn into something good, and you won't question it for the rest of your life after your dad passes away.
Good point.
But at the same time, you want to balance his needs in there too, because you don't want to overreach to a point where it makes him uncomfortable, or if he doesn't want you. Like, it's a sticky wicket.
I say just go and let him tell you he's uncomfortable. When he's annoyed, he'll be like, and you can leave anytime. Like, all right, Dad, great.
All right,
super. I'll see you in a couple of days.
As soon as he goes, it's been good.
It's been good.
On the thigh.
Is that the Iowa goodbye?
Yeah,
Is that it? They stand up and
slap your
pants.
hands down on your knees. Well,
adjust your belt.
and that just means you go to the door and talk.
Yeah,
a little bit
you just
longer.
talk longer at the
half
door.
hour.
Yep.
and then you just open the door and just leave it there for a while.
And if there are chairs on the front porch,
Oh,
forget it.
Not
you're
getting
good.
past
You're an hour
those.
and a half out.
Yep.
Ryder, thanks for this one. We are sorry to hear about this, but I'm glad you're being intentional with it. You're trying to do this the right way. And, I hope that you find the way that works for you. So good luck with that. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about unrequited love for your best friend with whom you have a podcast. Oh, shit.
Uh-oh.
I need to stay away.
Anonymous.
Anonymous. Completely anonymous. Oh, shit.
Today's episode is brought to you by Jake Schneider, Judy Schneider, Leon Kassab, Carolyn Albert, Sammy Scoop, Sarah Smith, Mike Helm, Darren Cunningham, Matt and Lisa Tangeman, and Mrs. Hot Dog Scoop. And if you would like to sponsor the show, become a therapy producer at patreon.com/therapy.
All right, so I'm up. I believe it's 1-0.
What are you talking about?
I have one as well.
I
If you
have
have one, I
one.
have one.
Fine. I accept.
Well, if you guys have one, I have one.
No, you don't have
I
jack
have one
shit.
and a third from.
Yeah.
Whitney doesn't have shit.
Were you not even listening to the last?
No.
God, dang it.
We have points.
No. I couldn't tell you what the
Touche.
last question
Start
was.
now.
Touche.
How much prize money in millions of dollars
Millions.
was awarded to the winner of the 2020 Kentucky Derby?
Ooh, Jesus.
2020.
I think it's one of those things like the WNBA. I think you make more from sponsorships than you do from the game. And you know what I'm saying? I think the horse sells like fucking Gatorade. And like that's where the money is.
Yeah.
And I'll bet
you
you the
think it's
purse
like
isn't that big.
Gatorade?
Probably. I don't know.
Yeah.
Gatorade.
Whoever
huge.
sells
Well, he
horses
said
in
millions. So
Well, I mean, apparently they're for breeding. So it's probably like, a jar of horse semen. But like that's
Okay,
where
that's
the
two
money is.
episodes in a row. He's brought up horse
it's on
semen.
his,
That's
it's
not
on his
unrelated
mind.
to
It's on
this.
his mind. This time.
The horse that wins the
This
race.
time.
Finds a way to.
Look,
We still don't know what it has anything to
I
do with
promise
the
you-
Tour de France.
What's
I
that-
promise
that
you,
in Discord
All right.
too?
as
It's like,
Emma
what?
is listening to this episode, she's nodding along and going, he's not fucking wrong.
There's
the
horse
real
semen and
money is
horses."
breeding that fucking
Oh,
horse.
of course,
Whoever
of course.
wins that race,
Fine.
the jockey and the horse get laid. Like all over town. Like everybody pays. All right. That's what I'm saying. Gigolo horse. That's where the money is.
So,
Okay, so
Jim,
what-
you have a
sorry,
guess
what's your
on this
answer?
I think the purse is low. I
Circles,
think it's a
circles.
low purse,
Okay.
high
So less than
on
$1 million?
the gigolo. No, not less than $1 million.
$8.
0.4
It's a
million.
plurality of millions.
Jesus decimal.
All right. I don't think I should go first. I think I went first.
Oh, you did
second
go
time.
first. I think it's my turn to go
Okay,
first.
go ahead.
All right.
Okay, so it's the winner of the Kentucky Derby in 2020.
Yes.
Not counting the semen money, just the purse.
I don't know what the Navy has anything to do with.
Leave the Navy out of it.
5 million.
What's that horse submarine full of?
I'll tell you, it's expensive. It's white gold.
Okay, I'm sorry. What?
5 million.
Okay. Anna?
I'll go 10 million.
Ooh.
You're just gonna ignore the white gold reference.
I didn't hear anything.
Obviously, episode
I heard
title,
nothing.
and will be the second
Dang
week
it.
that I have
18 million.
referenced it.
18 million.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I think I'm
Anna?
way over.
10.
You said 10. All right, I'll take 11.
Rude. What?
Lowest right now is 5, right?
I gave her a whole $1 million. That's a window.
Give me.
It is a lot. Would you
5
say no to
million
$1 million
Yeah,
right
exactly.
now? No.
I'll take $4.5 million.
All right, so Jim's out.
Okay.
4.5.
And you got the lowest one.
Yeah, I went under. Yeah, Whitney has 5.
We all lost. $3 million.
Ah,
Oh.
Shit! It's close without going over. Fuck.
that's right. That's why we all lost.
Oh, Jim should have
Damn
guessed
it.
$1.
But I was easily the closest.
Closest without going under.
Yeah, it's a whole different game.
I feel like I deserve something because my horse semen
don't.
theory was correct.
Oh my god.
That's where the money is.
Okay. How many years on average?
Idiot.
It's where the
Does a
money
horse-
is. It's where the
Somebody
money is.
look it up. Look up how much the breeding rights of that horse is.
anyone
It's
arguing
more than
with
$3
Jim?
million.
No one's arguing at all.
Yeah, I've stopped
Anna,
listening.
stop arguing with Jim. Okay.
Sorry about that.
I was just sitting there going, yeah, this guy's making fucking points. Okay. There's a
Sorry,
there's
Nick,
a
what were you
horse
saying?
jizz market, and it's more than $3 million.
Horse jizz
And the winner of the
market.
Kentucky Derby is gonna be the one.
Wasn't that the name of the band you were in?
I'll bet you it's
jizz
$1 million by the fucking liter. Okay, like you're gonna make so much money.
Market.
Jim, I
Yeah.
can tell you right now, the stud horses,
Yes.
Kentucky Derby winning stud horses, after they get put out to stud,
Yes.
they get paid per foal. They don't get paid per amount of semen. They only get
It's
paid
not per ounce.
Per full, as in empty
per
versus
foal.
full.
Per baby horse.
foal.
Oh, full.
Yeah.
That's a very different thing.
Yeah. So how
Got
much per foal is the stud fee for a Kentucky Derby winning horse?
Ooh, that's interesting. You only have to pay if it takes. I
Well,
like
you,
that.
you
It's a money back guarantee.
you keep
right
on
there.
trying until it fucking works.
Yeah, you do. God, the horse life. All right, I'm gonna go.
The horse life.
I'll bet you.
This is everybody, by the way.
I'll bet
okay.
you it's
starting.
Let's go 500,000 per foal.
Okay.
All right, and that horse is just going to town. He's
Okay.
making printing fucking money.
Town.
That is where it is.
That's the town
That
he's
$3
going to.
million
You're
is for
500,000.
per foal.
I'll bet 250,000.
Okay.
Taking
We'll go a little
houses.
lower.
All right.
Shoot, that was what I was gonna do. I'm gonna do 100.
100,
Wow.
great.
150.
These rich people want it so bad.
I think I got to give that to Whitney. Because 100 to 225.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Per pony, man. That is, yeah. Come on now. And they're lining them up. They're just printing money. That's all you're doing.
It took a
Printing
lot
money
to get
with a
there,
horse
though.
dick.
I mean, how many? So it's about 150,000 per.
Yeah, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Call it 100 for just to do math easier. So every 30 gets you $1 million, right? That's how that works.
30.
Is it 30? 30 100,000s equals 3 million?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
100%. Yeah.
Moving on. Next question.
Was it 10?
No,
so
no,
it's
no,
30.
no, you got it. You got
So
it. Jim.
every 30
Next
gets you
question.
the Kentucky Derby
Next
purse.
question.
Nick, please start.
How many years on average does a living horse compete in equestrian sports before retiring?
Oh, like you threw in the living because it felt natural. Because dead horses can compete. They open up the rule book. There's no
Nick was
rules.
like,
They can. The sport's just a little different. It looks a little different on TV.
Don't keep beating them.
fastest to the glue
For
factory.
the love of God. All right. How long in years does the average compete?
Horse compete in equestrian sports before
Nick has to
retiring.
go first.
It can't be very
I
long.
can't because I already
You see
saw
him?
the answer.
Okay.
Oh, so I have to go first.
Price is right.
Um,
It can't be very long, man.
yeah, I'm going to say 4.
Boy, that seems high.
That does. I was.
Okay. Well,
was
you
gonna
can
guess
you're
2.
welcome to guess lower.
Yeah.
And I will.
I kind of think 1 year.
Okay.
Oof, yeah.
I think it matters though whether it's like a really competitive eventing
Yeah.
or equestrian horse, or if it's like someone that's like owns a horse and is doing it for
Right.
fun.
Dressage. You can
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, very like seriously competing versus.
Yeah, like
competing
high
for-
level. Because like
Oh, it's
Emma,
expensive to run
Well,
those horses.
Emma
Yeah.
has Tonka, and she said
Yeah.
Tonka's been competing for a long time. She's had
Right.
Tonka forever. So like clearly
Competing
there's
in
some
what,
time
though?
in there.
Yeah, repeat the question.
Like
I don't
racing?
know. They like jump over shit. There's
Right,
pictures
right.
of her jumping over things.
Yeah,
many
not a race.
years-
Tonka's not a racehorse.
She looks
though.
badass.
No.
How
in
many
that, too.
years on average does a horse compete in equestrian sports before
Equestrian
retiring?
sport.
Oh,
Sports.
it's not just horse racing.
Yeah, if
No,
it's horse racing,
equestrian
that's like
sports.
fucking greyhounds. They burn through that shit.
Yeah.
There's no way you last long.
Oh, I have no idea.
Well, I mean, polo, you need 3 horses just to compete one match, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
fucking.
so they don't even.
Plus the race horses betwing racing and having sex,
Such
like
a
they're burning
ridiculous
through those
sport.
things.
Give me another horse.
They do.
No, they do.
No, they don't die. They don't die. But
I don't know.
Get off that horse and shoot it.
Oh my god.
That's the rule. That's the rule.
It's just absurd. Get my other horse.
Right.
Now the other horse.
see how it works is the biathlon people and the
Anna was
polo
trying to
people work
avoid this
together.
one. She did not escape.
That's right. It's really one sport. This is the third leg of the biathlon.
The polo people supply the targets for the biathlon people.
Quick, take him down.
And from 50 meters away, it looks about the size of a CD.
Oh my god.
Okay, I guess
Because
I
of the
want a new
size of our
guess.
eyes.
So we got
Can we
4
new guess?
years on the
'Cause
board.
I wasn't.
Okay. Yes.
All right, new guesses. Unless Jacob wants to keep his.
You want to lock in 4 or you want to redo?
No, I'm gonna go higher then. I'll go 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jacob's got 7 months. What do you need?
7 months.
7 months. 7 minutes in polo. You did not go long.
Shot the horse. Did not shoot the
I'm gonna
puppy.
guess 5.
Boy, it seems like it's got to be a long time. So, but I think 7's really high. So I'll go under. I'll take a 3. We'll stick with the odds.
Close without going over, right? I'm going to stay at 1.
You're going low.
Oh,
Yeah. High.
I'm getting a point on this. I feel confident.
What do you have? 7?
7.
I think he's best positioned.
Jacob wins.
Fuck yeah.
Damn.
15 to 20 years.
Whoa!
Okay.
Christ!
Damn.
You all
As soon
seriously
as it changed to
underestimate
equestrian
horses.
events.
They're doing fucking LeBron James time
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
game? Fuck! That is impressive. That's average.
Now, you don't know equestrian events.
I
That's
do
the problem.
not. I clearly do not.
You were even quoting Tonka. So
Well,
you should have
yeah,
known
I
that.
just know that Emma's had Tonka for a long time.
Okay, last one for this one. This one's appropriate. How many Olympic medals has the United States won in equestrian events with live horses since the inclusion of the sport in the Olympics?
Thank you for adding the line. Since they outlawed the dead
I
ones.
was like, she said that? And I was like, oh no. Nick's ad
He's just making sure I don't ask for a free play.
One guy showed up with a horse marionette once.
Almost got him.
Yeah.
Almost got him.
Almost tricked him. Said there's nothing in the rules says I can't have a donkey kick a field goal.
So it's gold or any medal, an Olympic medal of any kind?
How many Olympic medals?
And what's the sport?
Any-
Won in equestrian events. So all equestrian events since the inclusion of the sport in the Olympics.
You might as well have asked how many equestrian events are in the Olympics.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah,
we'll
that
still
could
get
be
that.
0. And
Right.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
No.
Yeah.
I assume it's somewhere between none and
Yeah.
infinite.
Emma, look, I want to be pro this horse sport thing. I'm against it being in the Olympics. That violates the fucking concept.
Which one's the athlete?
Why don't we just have fucking robot battles, dude?
What if all the horses are Greek?
This really went off the
Let's
rails.
add fucking
What if it's
cockfights.
all Greek horses? Nude Greek horses.
Yeah.
Just letting fucking animals do the Olympics. This is dumb.
I mean,
Well,
cockfighting's in the Olympics.
It's called
They call it
jousting.
fencing.
Yeah, there it is. All right.
I went first.
I'll go 5.
I'll bet you
5
we
medals?
win a shit
5
ton.
medals.
Ever?
total.
Yeah, because
Ever.
the other
Way
countries
more
have
than
to
that.
fucking eat the horse. So I'm going to say that we have like 20.
I'm going to guess
15?
no,
D?
30. I'm going to guess 30.
Ooh.
Oh.
I'll bet you were probably closer.
I'm going to steal the 50.
I was like,
30 and a half.
I hate you.
Anna's on the board.
There you go.
52 medals.
I should have gone with my gut.
Very
Yep, you
good.
should have.
I was just
Oh, well.
deciding who to go over.
America.
Say, do I take Anna's answer or do I take Whitney's answer?
I know, right?
Well, now
Picked
we
wrong.
know. Well, you go to America.
America.
American horses.
It's a lot of medals.
That's
How
Yeah,
many equestrian
yeah,
events
0.
are there?
0 for the biathlon.
yeah.
I know. That's what I.
We're working on it, okay?
All right.
Yeah.
Get more
Come on.
horses
No,
than
I'm
that.
serious. We need to fucking find a way to sponsor this team, like, or at least send them a card or something. Like, hey, we are rooting for you. You
Now,
do
if
it.
you included the horse in the biathlon.
Oh, we'd crush.
No, listen.
For the loop.
Listen. Would the horse be on the skis or would the horse be shooting the gun?
Oh shit. Yeah.
Think about it.
No, you just blew my mind.
Can you imagine
just-
riding a horse on skis?
Yeah, no, that's obviously the more fun. It's obviously the more fun.
Small.
But I also like the horse in the shooting position with its arms like folded, like one eye closed, and just fiddling with the fucking trigger.
All right.
Like just
How
desperately
many?
fucking yawn at this thing.
How many equestrian events are in the Olympics?
Oh, please
Okay, well,
don't
no.
be more
You
than
know, there's
one.
going to be a variant
Dressage
of
is
like.
in there. I know
Dressage
is
is
What-
only because
what
of Mitt
word is
Romney.
that
That's the
you're
only reason I
saying?
even know that.
No, because I think one of the royals did dressage.
Was
Okay.
Mitt Romney a horse in the Olympics?
Yes.
I think it was his wife.
Dressage horse?
Very
Yeah.
respected Olympian horse.
The jumping one.
Yeah, I think the
No.
I
jump
think that's just
Barrels?
called jumping.
dressage,
That
which
could
is
be,
horse
you could be right.
dancing. They can't do horse racing because I think that it's just
No,
way
yeah.
too elsewhere. I don't think
I'm
going
going to
to
say two.
That.
Okay.
Those are the only two I can think of, so I'm just going to go with those
I'll
two.
bet you it's like I'll bet you polo's in there. I mean,
Oh.
where the hell else is it? You know,
Water polo is definitely in the Olympics.
water horse polo is just
Yeah, just cruel.
They're drowning. They're all
And that's a
muscle.
very shallow pool, and the horses could just stand in it, and they're just wet and annoyed.
I think two. Yeah, I think probably two. How many is it?
It's three, and Nick named two of them.
Oh,
So
wow.
dressage
no?
and jumping are two of them.
What was the third?
And the third one is eventing.
Oh, my.
So they just like coordinate conferences?
I assume
Is
so.
Okay.
Yeah,
They plan
Event
weddings.
planning.
Even.
You went way overboard on the carrots, goddamn it.
It's carrot cake.
It's ridiculous. Worst
too
baby
few
shower
sugar
ever.
tubes.
Unrequited love with best friend. I need help. I have this best friend who I'm so deeply in love with. Our connection is so strong, and he feels like my soulmate. We hang out all the time, and stop looking at me, Nick. We hang out all the time. We
There's
are
his
always,
eyes again.
always with those bedroom eyes. We hang out all the time and are always on the phone. Or there it is, with those horse hooves in front of you. I like it. Where was I? Oh, we hang out all the time and are always on the phone or texting. He knows how I feel about him,
I'll text
but he
it to the
says
group.
he doesn't return my feelings enough to be my official boyfriend. Everyone thinks we are dating.
The Kentucky Derby before I shipped out to the Navy.
This episode's off the rails.
When I got to the Navy, they said I was just another horse seaman.
Poor seam.
I'm just a horse seaman out in the Atlantic.
In
I'm
a
defending
jar.
my country and my home. Why'd you stop reading the letter, Jim?
Oh, you know what? Weird. I wonder if this human was hoping that's what we would do with it. I think that's what you get when you write into Pod Therapy. There's really no fucking.
Seaman out in the submarine.
No
with
way I
all
can.
the
I cannot
other
upstage your
horses
song
out
with the letter.
there.
All right,
go.
All right, fine. I've told my friend we hang out all the time and we're always on the phone or texting. He knows how I feel about him, but he says he doesn't return my feelings enough to be my official boyfriend. Everyone thinks we are dating because we are affectionate with each other and always together. We act like any couple does with how frequently we talk and interact. We have sex often and have an intense emotional connection. I don't understand why or how he doesn't feel the same about me, since he likes having sex with me and he wants to talk to me all the time. He says he can't explain it and it is so confusing to me. But that isn't the part I need help with. At this point, I feel used by him and like he's only keeping me around until he finds someone else he likes enough for him to commit to. I've told him I can no longer engage in any sex or cuddles since it is too difficult for me. But he still wants to talk and hang out with me 24/7. But at this point, even that is getting too hard. Everyone tells me to cut him off completely because I'm so in love with him and I need to heal so I can find someone who I am enough for. Here's what I need help with. How on earth do I let go of my very best friend? I feel like I can't go on without him, but it's breaking my heart that I fill the girlfriend role for him, but just until he finds someone else to replace me. Should I cut him off cold turkey or just deal with the pain that comes from having him in my life while I'm suffering with this unrequited love? Am I doing myself a disservice? Thanks, Anonymous.
Wow.
I'm glad you got a picture of Nick flashing me the bedroom eyes while I read the unrequited love
You're
letter.
welcome.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, I agree with your friends.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah, this is.
But she's doing
don't
that.
fuck him.
Oh, sorry.
no.
We aren't
Jeez.
doing that
Stop
anymore. You're
fucking
right.
him.
My bad.
The advice
the
is so
exact opposite of what you want to do.
Please.
No, yeah, this is. It's just going to get worse.
Yeah.
I mean, because hypothetically, if you just decide that, let's just continue this and I'll just find some way to work through my feelings, you're right. There's somebody else that's going to come along. At some point, there's going to be somebody else and you're going to be right there. And it's...
And when somebody else comes along, by the way, you don't stick around as that friend anymore.
Oh, yeah.
No.
You're
Because
done.
somebody else doesn't want his old fuck buddy hanging around with him.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, you're done. You're on borrowed time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I hope this doesn't come across as too harsh. But yeah, this guy I don't see a way out for you that ends up being you're dating now.
Yeah, and it's for your own good. This is, you got to look out for yourself. And I feel like I'd be too worried right now that you're allowing yourself to be put in a very vulnerable position where at some point it's going to really hurt worse than it does already.
Yeah.
And I realize it already hurts and it's not going to get any better, I don't think.
Yeah.
If I were your friend, I would just be like, let's go out, we're getting laid. And I bet your friends have done that. And I think you should take your friends up on that.
You should help. Yeah. Wait, what? So you should take your friend, the guy.
No, not that guy at all.
Oh,
your other friend.
Go out and the best way to get over a guy is get under another one.
I think so.
Yeah, as the fortune cookie says.
Yeah, I would have said
fortune
over.
Cookie, I always get.
I would have said get on another one, but I'm a feminist, so I don't know.
No, he's right.
Yeah,
yeah.
You have to set a boundary, and that comes from really
Butt
thinking.
stuff only.
Yeah, well, that obviously.
Yeah.
But what you
My
feel like
booty,
you deserve, and you even said in here, it almost is like torture. He's telling you clearly what he doesn't want in this case.
Right.
I don't want this relationship, and I think your feelings are valid. It's hard to pull away from that, and that's really what your question is. How do I stop that in some ways if I do decide to cut him off? Like, how do you even do that? Because when you are infatuated with somebody or deeply in love with them, especially, I mean, how do you end that? How do you cut that off?
Let's play out a scenario, Whitney. Let's say that you and I are friends. Let's start with that imaginary.
Whoa, are we just making shit up?
We're friends, guys.
This is getting weird.
He's
Because I
imagining
have a friend.
Every month, I come to you and say, Whitney, I need $200 to pay bills.
Mm-hmm.
And every month you give me that $200.
Yeah.
And there's no talk of me paying it back or whatever. You assume that you're giving this to me as a gift because we're buddies and you want me to be taken care of in this imaginary circumstance.
So
Very
you're a sugar
imaginary.
baby. Yeah. Sugar mama.
Sugar mama.
And then you find out one day that I am taking that $200 and I'm just going to the bar.
Okay.
And I'm just spending $200 at the bar every month.
Okay.
On your dime. How would you feel at that point?
I would feel used.
Exactly. You'd feel used.
So I should stop paying you that $200.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all.
What would you tell me to do,
Now
Jacob?
you're reading into it.
Yeah, you're really getting the wrong idea. It's like she wasn't even
I was
listening.
using our
Let's gas
$200 availability as a metaphor.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
No, but I mean, like, whether this guy has bad intentions or not, I'm sure he probably doesn't. I mean, y'all are friends or whatever. You know him. But I mean, to some degree, he's using you.
Well,
Yeah.
It sounds like Ryder has landed on that.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, at some point, it sounds like it may have been a mutually beneficial type relationship.
Right.
And it clearly is not at this point. And obviously, he has no reason to change. It's, because he's still getting kind of what he needs out of this relationship.
He's getting laid and enjoying it.
Yeah. And
Well, they stopped having sex. So, like,
Yeah,
I want to make sure we catch that.
Yeah. And, but I think, fuck, now I lost my train of thought.
Choo-choo.
There it is.
There it is. It's pulling into the station, Tangeman.
No, he's getting what he needs out of it. At one point, they were both getting what they needed out of it.
Yep. Sounds right.
I'm just repeating things that you said.
All right,
Trying to
I
jog
want to
that
defend
memory.
the guy. I know that's going to surprise
Horse
everybody.
semen. That's what it was.
Oh, yeah.
It always comes back. Always.
What are you going to say here?
I do want to say in the defense
Go
of...
on.
So, okay.
He's starting off in the defense of the guy?
I'm defending the guy.
Whitney is
All right,
taking
all right.
a bottle of pepper spray out of her purse.
Shake, shake, shake.
Shake, shake, shake.
All right, I want to defend the guy a little bit because I feel like letters like this, or if a person's talking to their friends and they're telling the story, the immediate stereotyping or just typecasting of the roles is, oh, this exploitative, lying douchebag taking advantage. And boy, does that not sound what this letter said. This
No, it
letter,
doesn't.
No.
Yeah, and so I just want to speak that because I just want to acknowledge, and I'm not accusing any of you of doing this, but I'm just saying.
Seems like you are.
Well, I think you're all
Sound
douchebags. So,
accusatory.
no, but like, look, it's an adult, consensual relationship. All cards were on the table, and you said this is for fun, and we're just enjoying it, and it's getting better and better, and then somebody developed feelings. Okay, that happens. And then when approached honestly about it, the friend says, I do not reciprocate your feelings, but I also don't not like you. And I'm available for whatever, if you're comfortable with this, great, but I'm not available to go beyond that. And now you're a grown woman and you think about what you want to do. And she came back after talking about it with her friends and said, I would like to not have sex anymore. And we don't see a letter where the guy says, then fuck you, bitch. I'm not talking. No, he's like, okay. No. And then she's like, well, we're not having sex anymore. We're just regular friends now. And he's not putting up a fuss. He's being fine. There's no negative energy from boy here. But writer is saying, I'm struggling because I am in love with somebody who doesn't love me back. And I need to decide, do I stay in friendship proximity to that human or do I walk away? And that's so hard to do.
I remember what I was going to say.
Nail it.
Well, I want to say what I want to say first. I'm
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
kidding. I'm joking. I'm kidding.
Fuck, I forgot.
Yes! Oh, good
No,
job,
I do
Whitney.
remember. I do
Okay.
remember. Okay. Writer. Thank you.
You can do it.
Whatever you do, decide. Okay? Do so with the
Slay.
intent that this is about you and not about trying to change him.
Okay.
Okay? Because I know what you may be thinking, because I've been in similar situations and I've thought this.
Ooh.
That like, okay, well, I'm going to put up these boundaries. And then when I put up these boundaries, it will influence this other person and then they will change
Right.
to what I want them to
And
be.
I'm really just trying to control the master plan.
Exactly.
Yeah, good point.
Exactly. So when you set these boundaries, remember, you're setting these boundaries for you with the understanding that this could be it and then we could be done, but you're not trying to change the other person. That's all I was
He's adding more instruments.
I know. I was like, is that a
It's actually kind
violin?
of getting good.
He created a song.
There's a sunset in the background.
Oh, we're really close to having a
new
new song.
Oh yeah, that was almost the logo. I like it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. What's the word instead of boundaries? I'm blanking
Ultimatum.
on it. Yeah, an
Yeah.
ultimatum.
Yeah, it's not an ultimatum, it's a boundary.
Yeah. So when I was young, like a teenager-ish, I had a situation similar, not quite as in depth as this writer, but it was very much what you were saying, Nick, where I was like, oh, I really like hanging around this person. We had been friends. And then it's like, oh, you know what? I think I like them more. And I told them and they were like, oh, you know, I really like you, but like not like that.
I think we should remain siblings.
Just gonna let you sit with that one.
Horse siblings. 100 grand a foal. Liquid gold.
There's a
We
snort.
grew up sharing a bedroom.
I really hate y'all.
In Texas. Pew pew.
I wasn't gonna get past that first line. I was never gonna make it past that first line.
This show has gone completely off the
So
You
great.
rails.
started that. You started us in the gutter, and we've just stayed there.
Mine was just an observation. That's it.
Mine too.
Oh god.
Oh my gosh.
served a Navy battleship filled with horses.
But no, my boundary I set, but it felt very true to me. Was like,
You put that tape line across the middle of the bedroom.
I'm gonna get you, Jake. It's not gonna end well. Okay. Anna, do me a favor. See this little deer? Just swivel that around for me, please. Yep.
Make
And he's
the
no,
deer
yep,
stare at
just like
him
that.
with
Thank
its
you.
dead eyes.
Look
Yep,
at me.
that's what
Yeah.
you get. So yeah, that was my boundary, and I truly felt that my verbiage was, I cannot just be friends with you because I like you more than that. So if you don't want to, tell me, and I'm gonna peace out. I'll be over here. You do you. It's all good. But
That's so hard.
If you want more, then I want that.
Yeah.
And that had come after there was at least at least 2 other conversations about liking each other or not. And so that's where I can really relate to this writer. And it's hard to get to that point, but I think that's where you're just like, this feels kind of like torture because
and I think you're within your rights, and your story, writer's story, you're within your rights to say, this isn't going to be okay for me.
Mm-hmm.
I like also framing it as, and you're not a bad person.
No.
You're being honest with me, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But I can't do this. But I also want to imagine what it's like to be that friend where somebody you really care about and you are really connected with is saying, hey, I need more than this. And then you're like, God damn it, I don't want to lose you as my friend.
Yeah.
Like what we have is a really cool bond.
You mean
And
from the
now I
guy's
feel
perspective?
Like it could be a guy. And I could definitely
Okay.
see scenarios where it's the girl. And
Yeah.
she's like, I don't want to lose you. You're my best friend. But if I don't become your girlfriend, I am going to lose you. And how do I feel about that?
Okay, that's kind of fucked up. Like that's so. I was gonna ask this earlier. I mean, I know you're like, oh, the guy's not an asshole. I don't want to go that route, and he's not. But like, when eventually is there some responsibility on the guy being like, oh yeah, you've told me you really like me, you want more, and yeah, I'm just still gonna like, I don't know.
So I'll tell you, in this
If they're
scenario,
really friends, that's
socially,
not
he's got
very
very
friendly.
few options, right? Because if he's hooking up with his friend and they started off with this consensual, no strings attached, this is for fun thing, and then she catches feelings, she's like, I have feelings for you. He has very few options, because if he goes, okay, we should stop seeing each other, we should stop being romantic because I don't have feelings for you, let's be platonic, then it's like, oh, okay, it was all well and good until I got feelings, then you fucking cut me off and threw me away. And it's like, no. What do you want to do? Like, how about I'm available for whatever you want to do? And she's like, I want you to be my boyfriend. Like, I can't do that. And she's like, okay, well, then I don't want to lose you. So we're going to stay at this. I don't know what his move is supposed to be.
No, it's can very much be that first thing, in my opinion.
To say, I'm making this decision on your behalf.
Not on your behalf.
We're going to end.
But your own behalf, too, because you are kind of, that to me is almost like leading on a little bit. If you're really friends with this person and care about them, you're not just a booty
I'm a
call
feminist.
or something.
I think you can let her make her own choices.
It's both, though. If you're friends, it's both. Like,
Okay.
in my opinion. I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Well,
a
yeah,
good
they're both
example.
responsible for their relationship. Like
Yeah.
whatever their relationship looks like, they are both responsible for it.
Yeah, I like how that's worded.
Thank you, Whitney.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
That's all you're getting from me. Stare at those deer eyes.
Yeah.
You look at those.
I apologize. I know you guys are having a serious conversation, but I just keep thinking. I keep thinking of Horse Siblings being the first hit song for seafood sugar cookie.
Oh, siblings!
There's nothing with semen and seafood sugar cookies in there. Like,
So this is going
all
on the
about
album
the
then.
sea.
This is
it's
one of our
absolutely on
tracks.
the album.
Yeah, the horse siblings.
Yeah.
We
it's
had
like a
sex
romantic
while
song.
living in the same paddock. Or, if you will, pad dick.
Ryder, this is a tough one. I mean, okay, so how do we all agree that if you can't stop the feelings, which of course you can't,
Yeah.
I want to.
then you need to claim space for yourself. which
Yes,
is-
I agree with that completely.
But then the question is how.
I do want to back up too. This sounds like I'm blaming the guy more than I want to, but the guy knows earlier, like your profession of love was not the first time that this guy thought about, oh, hey, she's getting into me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't.
You don't think he was caught off guard?
I don't.
Yeah.
No.
But but then he's not obligated to lie. He should tell his
no,
truth.
certainly not. But I really wish, for the sake of the friendship, I wish that something had been done
Yes.
earlier.
Yeah,
because
probably.
now is awfully late. Now, especially when it comes to saving the friendship relationship part of this.
Yeah.
They're in a tough spot.
And like, it's going to take openness on both of your parts and drawing some very clear boundaries, all of those types of things. I don't know.
Question for the room. Do you think there is a way for Ryder to keep the friendship
No.
and release the feelings? What do you think? Is it possible to somehow...
That's a personal opinion, but I
You
don't.
don't think they go away?
I don't. How do you stop being in love with somebody?
If you want to say possible, like, fine. Possible.
yeah.
Likely.
Yeah.
Not
Okay,
Let
terribly
me tell
likely.
you about how I used to feel about MC Hammer. Okay?
we don't have time for that right now.
Defined me as a human. Now, barely think of him. You know?
That's
I fell
love
out of
to you?
love.
There's not a single song that played on Jim's cassette that wasn't "Can't Touch This."
Well, there was the B-side, which God damn, I can't remember what his second song was. He had two. It wasn't
Two
as good
legit
as...
quit.
Oh, Hammer Time. Fucking yeah.
Hammer
I
Time.
know.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is the way we roll.
Oh, don't you start. Don't discography me.
Come on.
God damn it.
You were
Well,
talking
do you-
about about the wheelhouse of our generation now.
Getting into water too deep, youngin'.
Yep.
So do you
That was
think
my
you
first
can
cassette and my first CD.
untangle that?
I don't know.
that
no, I'm with you.
entanglement?
I don't know.
Again, like, here's the thing: is when you try to be friends, even if they were like, if they had a romantic relationship, okay, which they didn't, but like one person did, the other person did not. What happens when he finds a girlfriend?
Exactly.
What role are you going to play there?
And also, I
Because
think
that's going to be hard to watch. It's going to be hard to sit on the sidelines and watch that.
Yep.
it's also going to be really hard for her to find to move on with him there every day.
Yeah.
Like if y'all,
Yeah.
if the person you're hanging out with is this guy
You're missing
all the time,
opportunities.
that's it.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. If I
feel
I
like
were your buddy, I bet I would say you gotta not hang out with this guy for a bit.
Even, yeah, I was going to say, even if it's just a break, even
Yeah.
if it's just like, you know what, well, I'll see where I'm at in a couple months.
That's it.
So Ryder is asking us toward the end, is saying like, how do I do this? Do I cut him off cold turkey, or just deal with the pain that comes from having him in my life while I'm suffering? So I think most of us are aligning on the side of exit plan.
Yeah.
But
More
then this
toward
question
cutoff.
of cold turkey, is there a conversation? Is there hey, I exist, but like, we're not going to do this daily simulating relationship level connection of friendship. Like,
That's it. Actually, that's really it. Like
Okay.
the simulating of the relationship.
widen the gap, maybe.
I think that might be causing some problems.
Yeah.
Because
So
the
you
writer
say
says
not cold turkey, take the ramp. Like
That's
you say,
it.
exit slowly.
Yeah, I don't think you have to say like let's never speak again starting right now.
Okay.
But like, yeah, let's take a little break. Because I hadn't even thought about that. I think you're exactly on it. Simulating the whole relationship there. That's what's going to keep you from being able to move on.
Yeah.
That's what's going to keep you from being able to move forward.
And the friendship is so close, even without the sex.
And also, like,
They're too
if you keep on,
They are.
even if it is like, even if the ultimate goal is to still get back with this guy,
Yeah.
as you end this moment of the relationship, even if you say like, hey, let's take a break, and in 6 months, man, I'm gonna come for you, and I'm gonna fucking win you back in 6 months, and because right now neither of you can move on from where you're at. Like you're in a
You
spot
can't see
right
a different
now.
way.
That's it.
Yeah.
And so like continuing on with what you have, his feelings aren't going to change.
Kind of sounds like you're saying you need at least like a detox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Maybe do a lot of drugs.
Ooh, the opposite
That's probably
of detox.
well. If you really want to fucking, you want to come play hardball, fucking date his horse. You know, he gets jealous. Then all of a sudden,
If he has any attractive family members,
oh
Horse thing.
oh, the first thing you do, yeah,
like if he has a twin brother,
oh yeah, you just fucking rail that guy.
yeah,
That's how you do it.
happy fucking birthday.
Some good advice.
Ryder, you
Right.
write in for the quality of our
Good looking
advice.
dad,
Yeah. Oh,
even better.
Grandpa. Just take a job at the nursing home.
You just find a copy of this
show
family
you.
tree. You're like, today I'm an arborist.
You didn't love me. Oh, Ryder, this is a tough one. But you know what? I think we're all rooting for you to go through some kind of exiting plan. I don't think anybody likes you sitting there suffering anyway.
Yeah.
No.
That's tough. I don't like you in proximity to this. It didn't work out. I think you're handling it well. I mean, the way you write this letter, you're not villainizing, you're not unkind, you don't sound bitter. You sound like you are navigating something complex and that you've already made really big choices that look like boundary setting to see if that would fix it, to see if you'd be okay. And now you're noticing, no, authentically, I still have feelings, even though we've, reduced this to platonic. And now I need to make a next decision. And I respect you for that. It's a very hard decision. Yeah. But I think
it's
I'm
very
with
self-aware. The whole letter is very self-aware.
Very self-aware. But yeah, I'm with Whitney. I really think that I don't see a way that you can maintain this friendship, even if you can demote it to I don't know, I see
Like
every
a
once
lot,
in a
at least,
while.
yeah.
I mean, maybe you don't have to cut this person off like they're dead to you, but
be like, hey, do you
proximity.
need something? Text me. But I need
I'm going to need some space.
yeah.
Yeah. Now, good question, Ryder.
You don't want to end up like Whitney and her brother.
No. Thanksgiving is so fucking awkward.
Yeah.
It's just
Damn
terrible.
it. Anna, get the deer again. I'm like, damn it. Thank you.
As we wrap up the show, I want to remind you can sign up at patreon.com/therapy. You can get the extended show ad-free a day early, as well as enjoy our live chat Discord community and our weekly deep dives, interviews, skill shares, research roundups, and rants. This week, I added a 5th installment of questions every therapist should ask themselves. Really interesting series based on the writings of Carl Rogers, one of the greats. Check it out, patreon.com/therapy. We've got some new friends in the Theraparty. Who joined us, Nick?
We got a new Therapod, Jesse Miller.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
We got a new Pterodactyl, 8-armed praying mantis.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And hot off the press,
Ooh.
as we were recording, or a little bit ago, I think before we started recording, we got another new Pterodactyl.
Hell yeah, we did.
Adam, and his last name, Jim and I have both mispronounced, and he let us have it at Scoop Fest.
Rib chick.
Yes, and you got it right. Say it again.
Rib chick.
It's
Rib
Rib
Chick.
Chick?
Yeah.
It's not Ribiznik?
I guess not.
Every time.
Nah, fuck that guy. Guess what?
Hey,
I read
Adam.
the fucking names, Adam. Actually, no,
I
you got on
remember.
the Nick's list. Yeah, you do pterodactyls. That's probably
Well, now
why
he
he
did.
fucking did it.
Now he did,
Yeah, he
yeah.
probably just threw more money because he was sick and tired of me fucking mispronouncing his
Probably.
name. So he's like, that's it. I'm going
done
to
with
Nick's,
that.
Nick's pronunciation. Thank you, Adam. Appreciate your long-term support. Of course, we also want to thank our Thera partners. Oh, wait, before we do, reviews, update on reviews. We have
more?
officially passed 100. We are at 101 reviews. Our average score now is 4.7.
Okay.
We do have a good handful of 1 and 2 stars. Fuck
Yikes.
you guys in the
Yikes.
neck. But all
They're
the
not still
people,
listening.
They all
no, those
reference
people
Jim.
fucking left us.
Like,
Yeah.
all
okay.
reference Jim.
Did you read the one?
No,
Also,
I
you
I
need the
didn't.
1 and 2 stars because it shows that the reviews are actually real.
That's true.
That's
Oh,
fair.
that's true.
yeah.
Yeah.
I never trust something that's all 5 stars.
Okay, so I do a lot of trainings, as you know,
Oh,
for
yeah.
my
yeah,
job.
yeah.
And we did, and
He
we
runs a lot of trainings as well.
at the end, everybody fills out a form,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
right? The feedback.
Yeah.
Every single time, I always get one person who does all strongly disagree,
Oh,
yeah.
no.
top to bottom.
Oh.
strongly
Did they get it in
disagree
reverse?
on every?
Just
no.
to
I don't think
asshole
so.
you.
But here's the thing: they also never provide any other
Yeah,
feedback.
no, that's always
Oh.
anonymous. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's blanks
Yeah.
on all the comments.
Ways you can improve? Nothing.
Fuck you.
Oh.
You'll never put anything down.
To my great credit, anytime I have attended CEUs that you have taught, I have never done that. And I have always fucking thought about it. And
Oh, I know.
I've thought about writing heinous shit. Just really random references that your boss would eventually look at and be like, wait, what? Like, I didn't appreciate the Holocaust jokes. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, to my enormous credit, I never have. So
Well, good for you. Way
no,
to
that
take the
wasn't
high
me.
road.
Yeah, no, you're fucking welcome. I absolutely thought about it. Just loaded gun on the table, never used it.
But then you realized you have more to lose than I do.
I realize you will beat me
When
up.
it comes to-
Like,
when it
you'll
comes to-
just beat me up really quickly, and that'll
When
be the
it
end
comes
of it.
to leaving negative reviews,
Oh yeah, you
my
would win.
career will survive.
Yeah, you can burn me down way faster. Yeah, you will cockroach at the end of World War III. Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll be
You'll
all right.
crawl out of the tunnel. But yeah, so thank you everybody that got us over 100. We're at 101. No new ones to read. We just got a lot of silent warriors and they're jumping in and giving us those fives. If you listen to the show, if we're part of your weekly life, if you are an Apple user, take a second, jump in there really quick, just hit the 5 button. If you want to say a few words and make me read it out loud, go for it. We will read anything that is 5 stars. I will just do that. So
You can
that's a
write out your
commitment.
entire memoir
Memoir. Yeah, we've had a lot of
as long as you
interesting
label it as a
word
memoir.
drops.
This means
yes.
at least 100 people have listened to this podcast.
At least. Well, 101.
101.
Yeah, not all of them liked it, but
Okay.
101 at least on iTunes. So thank you, that crowd. We do appreciate it. It goes a long way for us. And we want to thank our therapy partners, the benevolent, revered, generous, and flagrantly pro-therapy diehards who love you all so much that they give till it hurts, Dirty B and Pickett. And we want to thank our bosses, the mysterious and shrouded Illuminati members of the fan club, the Therapy Producers. Thank you, Jake Schneider, Myra, Robert Brownie Jr. Mint, Smitty Scoop, Ben Dawn, Judy Schneider, Kayla Lansbury, Mrs. and Mr. Hot Dog Scoop, Malia, Leon Kassab, Mason Miller, Richard fucking Macy, Carolyn Albert, Kevin Chamberlain, Tess Miller, Sammy Scoop, Ben Stanley Slapping Your Face, Sarah Smith, Adam Hathaway, Byler T, Mike Helm, Paris, Samantha Cohn, Darren Cunningham, Lib, Team Monaco, Thunder Cougar Falcon Scoop, Matt Lisa Tangeman, Heyo, Oscar Swanrose, A Sunny Boy, Slurpy Kai Motherfucker, Sandra McWaffle, Dan Martin, Anne Marie, Andrew Langmead, and Emma Kane, and our friend Anna, who joined us in studio, who is shocked to realize I name all those people from memory and I'm not reading them from my phone.
It's true.
It's a different show in person, isn't it? Really? The magic. Yeah,
It's
you
sad I
realize
didn't get to
how
see
hard
the
we
light
work.
show though.
Oh, are you sad
right.
you didn't get life coached? Is that what you're saying?
Yep. Oh, and Jim even got life coached.
Oh.
well.
I did. Yeah.
Too bad we missed it.
Yeah, tough shit, Anna.
Nothing to be done now.
Oh, come on.
Nothing to be done.
No, you can't summon
Oh.
it. You
Nothing to
can't
be done.
You can't just, nothing can be done about it.
My phone number ain't even on my business card.
Yep. Maybe the after show. Maybe if you
Yeah.
stick around for the at last questions, you have a shot.
If you would like to hear this episode uncut and unedited,
And why wouldn't you?
Anna, turn around.
Oh, he's giving her his card now.
and enjoy our spontaneous side projects, go to patreon.com/therapy. And thank you for supporting mental health.
That's all the time we got for this week's session. Want to thank our landlords, Matt Mattingly's Ice Cream Social Podcast, and thanks to those of you who contributed to our show today. We really appreciate it. Remember, pod therapy isn't something to keep all to yourself. Share the show with the world. Tag us on the socials when you do. We're at PodTherapyGuys on Instagram, Threads, and Twitter, and it's /PodTherapy on Facebook. Don't forget about all the extra goodies at patreon.com/therapy.
Do you want to submit a question to the show? Ask anonymously at podtherapy.net or email us at podtherapyguys@gmail.com. I'm Nick Tangeman.
I'm Jim.
Shit.
Thanks, and we'll see you for your appointment next week.
Oh my God. I'm so
What's my name?
confused.
I don't know what to do.
I thought I was Jim.
I don't know what to do, guys.
Any more questions?
I'll throw you a couple.
All right.
Yeah.
Throw a
That
couple.
one's about Mr. Ed.
Which luxury fashion brand famously creates high-end equestrian?